All right. What's going on? Welcome to the Brandon Hover Show. What's happening, people? What's going on? Welcome. What it is, Hover?
Hey man, another show. You don't get no better than that, man. You know the Bread and Hope show. We've been on the air for many years, man. This is our year,
Hey,
man.
this is it, man. I tell you, man. It's gonna keep getting better, man. Gonna have some surprises, folks in store for 25. We're gonna keep growing. So appreciate everybody tuning in and chilling out with us, man. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
How was the weekend, Hope?
Weekend was good, man. Got a chance to enjoy watching some playoff football, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about all that, and yeah, outside of we had a little snowstorm came through last weekend.
Oh yeah. So for the South, for Atlanta, we don't, we really haven't gotten snow in about 10 years.
Yeah,
So and we basically just skipped winters down here, or just been lucky. But I knew it was, we were overdue.
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
so it caught us on the weekend. We was great. He was on the weekend, so it was just real. It's a little bit easier to say, okay, we're gonna call it a day.
Right, right.
Or just work from home. A lot of folks nowadays, you got that kind of a job, you can just kind of work from home, which is kind of what we did. We just worked in the house, uh,
Hmm.
remote, and it's just real easy to do it that way. Make that transition.
Yeah,
You know.
looks like we got another one coming again next week.
Yeah, we got some weird coming up. I mean, at the very least, I think it's gonna be frigid next week. Frigid weather. Like I said, not cold but frigid.
Yeah,
For especially for us down south. So
right.
we'll see what it has in store for us for a couple of days. I think it's gonna get cold Sunday night, and it's just gonna stay cold until like Wednesday. So we'll see. And we have Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration Day. We'll see how that goes on Monday. That's coming up. We hope that cold weather doesn't affect those fish. Because the thing about the South, we have a lot of black ice down here too. So even though we may not get a lot of frozen precip, dew points high, a lot of human areas, bridges freeze over real easy down here. And ice just kicks in when you least expect it. Trees, power lines, just fall out. It gets a mess. So it doesn't even have to snow down here for it to be a mess. So
Right.
we'll see. Maybe the frozen precip comes, maybe it doesn't. So yeah, we're gonna be in for it, but we're overdue.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, man. They made a lot of snowmans in my neighborhood.
yeah, man. Yeah. We had some snow dudes in my neighborhood too, man. Had some snow dudes over here, man. Everybody, it was funny. We actually had enough snow to make some snow dudes over here. Some nice size snow dudes too. Nice size. I think we got like 3, 4 inches in my neighborhood.
Man, what's so funny? There's a snowman still hanging pretty tough, and it's been over
Oh,
a week.
woo,
Yeah, I'm
woo.
surprised. This one area, for some reason, I guess sunlight just doesn't come that way.
Yeah.
But that snowman is chilling.
Oh wow. Wow, that's Frosty's cousin.
Well, he definitely surviving surviving everything. He's hanging in
Hey, he's a tough one. Tough hombre.
there. But I think he'll be gone by this weekend, though. I think he'll be.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
If the sun don't get him, the rain will. So
Yeah.
yeah. I kind of see
Hey,
that coming.
hey, real quick. This I think this is pretty funny. Everybody talks about the Madden curse, and this year he had Christian McCaffrey, 49ers, on the cover, and what do you know?
Ooh,
He
yeah.
was injured, and the 49ers season was Terrible. So I don't
Yeah,
know, man. Maybe it is something about that Madden curse, man.
yeah, man. Maybe we put Jared Jones on it one time. I don't know, man. So for the Cowboy fans, I mean for the Cowboy haters, Cowboy haters, put him on there. We put a couple Saint players on there. I about put the whole team on there. So,
That's funny.
oh man, but at any rate, man, we're happy for everybody joining the Bread and Hope show. Got an action-packed show for you tonight. Got a lot going on outside the weather. So we're gonna talk a little bit of Hawks basketball. You know, our Hawks are looking pretty decent. At least they're exciting to watch. You know, got a lot of coaching news and some coaching headlines. And, you know, we kind of saw that was going on. There were going to be a lot of teams having some vacancies. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. College football, definitely we have the PFP playoff, the first playoff tournament in history, you know, with Notre Dame versus Ohio State. And I have thoughts about that, a lot of thoughts. We're going to have some Bulldog talk. Carson Beck again, you know, and other players that may be leaving on the Bulldogs. Then we have the playoffs. You know, we just finished a round of games, and we got a round of games coming up. So that's it, guys. We're going to talk about that. And with that, Hover, what you got?
I want to give a shout out to the listeners and new listeners. And as always, you can visit our website, www.sportsandbrews.com, where we have real live sports content as well as beer content. And also, you can check out the Bread and Over Show Facebook group. If you're interested in being part of the community, just hit us up. We'll take care of you. Want to give a big shout out to Lou, the Enhanced Sports Show. Lou's been supporting the Bread and Over Show since we pretty much started this thing. So I always got to give him a big shout out.
The great one.
And he'll be joining us shortly. Other than that, man, let's get on into it.
Yeah, man. Look, man, just real quick, man. Just a plug. I don't know. We got a shout out to Players Football League going on about 30 years strong. We just finished our fantasy league. About a week or so ago, and so Hope and I didn't win, even though we probably had the best records in our division. We didn't win. So we need to talk a little bit about that, probably a little bit more offline. But we're the last league. If you're in the fantasy league football, we're one of the last of the old school Mohicans, which means we still have a draft board, an actual board. So after we didn't have it, during the pandemic, obviously, but coming out of the pandemic, things got back to normal for us to where we rent a room at a restaurant somewhere like where were we, man? Dave and Buster's or somewhere. Dave and Buster's. And then we reserve a room and we put the big board up there. We got the whole package to where you got the per position, every player in the league has a sticker, and when it's your, they have a clock, and when it's time for you to draft, you stand up, you tell the league manager, general manager, your pick, and you get on a piece of paper and you stick it up there on the board where it is. And so the draft order is on a sheet of paper if you would like to follow it. So, I know to a lot of guys it's real archaic, but this last of the Mohicans, but it will be changing. I mean, I think change is inevitable. It has changed a little bit over the years, slowly, but very, very slowly. Not a whole lot. But it has. I remember when we started, we would have magazines. And the magazines will have, a listing of players and just information and stuff like that. So, but I think that what happened, we were forced to evolve, at the very least, to incorporate the online draft. So we're there in person, but really the online services have improved over the years. I think CBS has done a great job over the years to kind of improve it. To where you don't get a lot of stops and we actually just draft online still like we did in the pandemic. But we just just for the show of it, we'd get up and we'd get stickers and put the stickers on the board and all that kind of stuff. You just hate it because the only thing that's bad about it is some of the everybody's not on the same page. Because it's funny because all of us either bring in laptops or iPads or some types of electronic devices to the which that wasn't the case when I first started. I mean, you may have had people had smartphones or whatever, but we would bring now everybody had and the people who don't, it's probably like one or two guys in the league who don't bring that, and they're the ones who hold everybody up. We got to stop the draft again because this guy don't know what's going on. So that I'm just trying to get the people to understand. I mean, a lot of people, you listen to these things and sports people are into fantasy league. And so I just want to kind of, just explain to people, kind of how special our league is. But at the same time, we love to, evolve a little bit, get a playoff.
Yeah. I hear you.
So if anybody's listening, playoff. So we talk about that offline, but I would love to see that because I think it's the only league around that didn't have one.
Yeah. We definitely need the one though. I mean, I think we, like I said, we got too many teams in the league to not have one. And yeah, I get it. He's been running it like that for forever, but it's time for change, man.
Yeah, it's time for a little change because I mean, for the mere fact that just because you play other teams in the league, and you should just be able to have a system, to where you can put your record up against everybody else. I think we had a lot of people with 10-6 records at the time. We could have been going to playoffs.
Yeah,
and just seed us and we just have at it. That would have been great.
Yeah,
it would have been real good to see. But hopefully, we'll talk. Yeah, but any rate, we do have the Sunday Fun Day, which is good, which is cool. You have the FanDuel, shout out FanDuel, to where you get a chance to do some things there and have a little competition, change your team up week to week. So I like that. Shout out to Brent. So look, man, Hawks, man, what you think about the Hawks, man? I think the Hawks are a fun team. We had a tough road stretch last week. Primarily because Jalen Johnson's out with a sore shoulder. Hopefully we get him back soon. But this team's fun to watch, man. I mean, Trey doesn't have to score a lot of points. If you can, but I think he leads the league in assists. I forget the numbers, but Trey looks good, man. I think the Hawks are a fun team to watch, man. What you think about them?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're a fun team to watch. I definitely see them, making a nice run. I think they're going to be a hard team to knock out of the playoffs. To be honest,
Yeah.
They're gonna, they give teams matchup problems, and but yeah, I love watching the team, man. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how far they go in the playoffs.
Yeah. So
I put it like this: I wouldn't be surprised they be in the East Conference championship. I wouldn't be surprised they make it. I really want.
Yeah, I think once we get healthy and back in rhythm. I mean, right now Hawks are number 9. They're 20-19. We were 500. I think they could do better. I mean, there's only a couple of games between them and I guess the 5th place and maybe the 4th place team. So going out of Eastern Conference, you got Cleveland Cavaliers are leading 34-5. Go figure. And two of those losses out of 5 came from the Hawks.
Right.
Boston is 2nd. The Knicks are 3rd. Orlando's 4th. Milwaukee Bucks are 5th. Pacers are 6, Miami Heat 7. My goodness, they're 7 really. Detroit 8, and we're at number 9. So Hawks can do better. I think that home stretch was pretty tough. But out of the last 10, Hawks are like 6-4 out of the last 10. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think this team can do better. Okongwu had an awesome game. It was 20-20. He's first player in long time with the Hawks history that they have 20 points, 20 rebounds in a game, which was awesome. So fun team to watch. Dyson Daniels gives the team a lot of spark. And it's just fun to watch to see these guys cook. Ricochet, they're working him in slowly. The rookie, Hawks #1 pick, NBA's #1 pick, Ricochet. They bring him along slowly. So I think that's going to be good. It's just a real fun team to watch, man. I think that when the Hawks played Phoenix last night, it was an exciting game to watch. Kevin Durant, they tried to win. KD and Trey were going at it, trading buckets. And Trey did not back down. He's like, this is my house.
Right.
And KD generally has a really good game in Atlanta, but not there. I mean, he lost the duel last night. Book tried to do his thing, but Hawks are tough to beat at home. They're a good home team, man.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Pretty decent home team. 11-7 ain't nothing to sniff at. So yeah, man, what you got on them Hawks though, man? You think they're gonna, like I said, you think they're gonna, how high do you think the Hawks can get in terms of seeding in the playoffs?
Maybe 4.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's doable. I mean, look, man. I think the Hawks can get Detroit, Miami. Pacers don't look as formidable as they're used to anymore. Even Milwaukee's just kind of sleepwalking through the regular season. So, they can at least get up that 4 or 5 spot. You're right. We beat the Knicks already, beat the Celtics twice, beat the Cavs twice. So I think that there's a lot of positive things with the Hawks that, I think the key is like I said, once everybody's healthy, I think that's the key for the Hawks once everybody gets healthy. Nice young team.
Absolutely.
Nice young team. And just to go through the West Conference, man, Oklahoma, OKC, Thunder, #1, 33-6. Followed by the Houston Rockets. The Rockets used to suck a couple of years ago. They're #2, 26-12. It's still early, but, Memphis #3. #4 is the Nuggets. The Nuggets are, they sleepwalking. They'll get better as the season progresses. Clippers at #5. Mavs at #6. I think the Mavs are going to do better, but, they got to stay healthy.
Right.
Lakers are #7. It's just a matter of time before they drop. I'm not a believer in the Lakers. Minnesota Timberwolves at 8. Sacramento Kings at #9. And the Spurs are #10. I think the Spurs are going to get better. I think much like the Hawks, I think the Spurs are going to get better. They're 500 now, but I think they'll move up from #10 to probably a good #7 or 6 spot for them. I think they can move up as good as 7. So I like them, and I think Wemby is going to lead that squad, man, and have a big man with those kind of skills. I think that's saying a whole lot.
I agree.
Yeah, shout out to Pops, hoping that he gets back and recovers, man, and end up back on the bench. Coach.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed, man. Look forward to that, hope.
Yeah, man.
So you got some word on the Atlanta United, man? I know the Atlanta United's got a new coach, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Yeah, so they got a new coach. He actually previously he was coaching the Red Bulls, the New York Red Bulls.
Okay.
Yeah, he has his coaching philosophy or style is attacking, and I mean you know, I mean, kind of similar to Tata a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little similar, but it's I think he's a little bit more aggressive though. He's
Mm-hmm.
very aggressive. So B, so we should expect a lot of scoring. At least that's what I anticipate.
Cool.
Um, the Guzman is still going to be there. Now that whole Atlanta United lineup is definitely going to be different.
Yeah.
Um, we had a nice run last year during the playoffs, and we had
Mhm.
some good chemistry with those guys.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's going to definitely be shaken up that line.
Yeah.
With the new coach. Um, I don't know how to really take that, whether that's good or maybe not. Who knows? But I personally think he's going to shake it up.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers, not too much. But we'll see. But yeah, man, it's a lot. I guess as an Atlanta United fan, there's a lot to be excited about with this guy.
Yeah. 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 Good deal, man. I can't wait to see him.
Yeah,
So let me see what this new look team's gonna look like with some new leadership and get it done, man. I look
yep,
forward to it.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Yes, indeed, man. So in the coaching carousel, man, we got a whole lot going on. But let me hold the NFL. I'm gonna group the NFL all together in one. Before we do that, man, I really want to talk about this college football. Notre Dame and Ohio State, two of the most, what's the word for it, Hova? Two of the most entitled, media privileged college football teams in history. Nothing to love about them if you're not a fan or a product of those schools. Nothing to like about them. I mean, look, man, the media darlings outside of, Saban's Alabama teams
Yeah,
or Bear Bryant's Alabama teams.
yeah,
There's Ohio State. The
right.
media loves Ohio State. They love Notre Dame. Notre Dame out for years have got benefit of the doubt in terms of their seating and their rankings for
Right,
years. And
right,
get around and get to the playoff game or mess around and get to the championship game and get blown out. Get their back blown out every time. Every time.
right, right.
This is the first time they actually made it in a down year. I said it, Hova. This is a down year. It's a lot of parity in college football, and it's a down year. And schools like Notre Dame were able to take advantage of a down year in college football.
Yeah, I
Any
mean
thoughts
we
on? Yeah, what
yeah,
you think?
because you can't talk about the Alabamas, the Georgias, or hell, even the Michigans for that matter.
Yeah.
You can't talk about none of those teams. We had Boise State, we had Arizona State. Hell, we even had Penn State up in there, but
SMU.
SMU, Clemson, but But I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you look at where we are with these last two teams, if you look at how everything played out in the college football bracket, um, yeah, are we surprised that we got these last two teams? I would say yes. Um, I, of course, not being a home dog, but I felt it would probably be Georgia and Texas seeing each other again. At least that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah. Me too.
I
Me.
thought it was a big possibility that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious to know what Lou got to say about that.
Oh yeah.
But
Bring them on. Bring them on.
hey Lou,
Should I go by Dave?
What's going on, Lou?
hey, what's going on, man?
Okay.
Lou, did you lose a bet? I see you got a cowboy shirt on, man. Did
Yeah, got a cowboy shirt on. What's going
you
on?
lose a bet, Lou?
I've always been a Cowboy fan, you know that. So
Oh man, Lewis like me when the Jets ain't making it, then he's gonna throw on all reliable Cowboy stuff. I'm the same way, Lou. When my Falcons don't make it, I
Yes.
throw I throw on all my Rams paraphernalia. I'm a Rams fan too.
Rams.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've been a Rams fan since 1977, Lou.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have a camera. One of these days, I'm going to show you guys when I clean up in here. My little studio, my man cave. And so my man cave, I got a lot of Georgia stuff, a lot of just, Braves, Hawks.
How'd you end up being a Rams fan?
Well, when I was in 1977, when I was a kid, right? And so
Yeah, so
I'm watching football. It was the first team that I actually got into. John Capoletti was a running back for the Rams.
yes.
Out of Penn State of all schools. And so he was a running back that was pretty good back then. And so he was the guy that actually got me excited about football. He kept running the ball, tough guy. And I just
That was the same year 20 door step for the Cowboys.
Yeah, see, there you go. Right. There you go. Yep.
Mm.
And so and I was just stayed a Rams fan since then. Bench through Pat Hayden. I think Pat Hayden was quarterback back then or winding down. Through Vince Ferragamo, Flipper Anderson, Yeah, man. So I've been a Rams fan a long time, and I just never left the Rams. I became a Falcon. I just carried.
No way.
Vince Ferragamo, yes sir, Vince Ferragamo. So I've just remained when I became a Falcons fan, I just never dropped the Rams. They're probably in the shadows now, but I just never left them. So I've just always been a Rams fan. I got a Marshall Faulk jersey.
Now I get it.
Yeah. I got his jersey in a frame. I somebody had gifted me a Todd Gurley jersey. I hope you didn't know about that. I was gifted a Todd Gurley jersey. So not I'm a Georgia fan, but when he went and he played for the Rams, I was very, very happy about that. So it's in the corner. You probably won't see it. It's in the corner room. You got to come all the way into the room to see it. But anyway, back in the car, y'all. Back in the car. Lou, what do you have? What are your thoughts on this upcoming championship game? Because I'm hearing that it won't be a large viewership.
I don't see why not. I mean, you got two historic programs, in the final. You have Ohio State and Notre Dame. So, I mean, that should generate some interest. If you don't, then you can't call yourself a fan, first of all. Mm-hmm. Second of all, I wasn't too surprised with Notre Dame. I mean, after when Georgia lost their starting quarterback, I thought, okay, that could be an advantage for Notre Dame to take this and, pull up the upset here. So it really didn't shock me at all that Notre Dame got this far. Ohio State, which 6 weeks ago, when they lost to Michigan, okay, that might have been more surprising because this team did not look like a champion team at all. I mean, they were flat. They lost some pretty tough games right there. So, if anything, Ohio State's appearance there, I think, is a bit more surprising than Notre Dame. But Notre Dame, they played solid offense and defense, and knew how to take advantage of it. So, I was surprised by them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, guys, I think Georgia was hit or miss for me. I did pick them to kind of show just, maybe a little homer in me. But I just think that this is not one of Georgia's better years, obviously. And so I'm not that – I just didn't think we were going to lose Notre Dame, but it happened. And so but I will say this about Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is I think they're one of the more disciplined teams on both sides of the ball. I think they're well coached. I think they're very disciplined. And you're not going to find them making a lot of mistakes in the game. No. Like Texas. I think Texas played Ohio State great. I thought they were awesome in terms of, and it was all the way to the end. 21-14, and you got a chance to tie this thing up. And next thing you know, bloop, you screw the pooch. And so instead of tying the game 21 all, possibly going into overtime, you lose the game by 14. So turn of events, and that's been Texas, So, but I think Texas did an awesome job against Jeremiah Smith. I didn't hear him at all. That's one of their most explosive receivers that they have on the team, and I think that's why the game was kind of controlled because they didn't get an opportunity to make a lot of explosive plays. I think you're going to get the same kind of thing from just my opinion, out of Notre Dame. I don't think you're going to get a lot of explosive plays, at least early in the game. But to that, I will say that in the secondary, I think Texas has a better secondary, or at least more pure athletes in their secondary than Notre Dame. I just don't see the athletes there. I think their strength is in the trenches. And they're patient to play a slow down kind of a game. So I think that I don't know if Notre Dame's, if they got the same caliber athletes in the defensive backfield as Texas, but I think they're pretty good. I think that they're pretty solid up front. They're not going to open a lot of holes for Ohio State to run the ball, so they're going to force the quarterback, kind of pass this thing and cover and cloud the receivers out there. So I think that'll be a pretty decent matchup, guys, to kind of see Ohio State to play a team that's as disciplined as Notre Dame. But Notre Dame, they're going to make Notre Dame pass the ball. And if you notice what Notre Dame did to Penn State, they didn't pass a lot, but they took their chances when they were open. And when they saw one-on-one, they took their chances. And those long plays, they didn't have a lot of them, but they made good decisions in terms of when to push the ball downfield. Got to be careful about that stuff. They are sneaky good when it comes to that. I just got to call.
Very sneaky.
Yeah, but through all of that, I just think overall, I just think that Ohio State just has better athletes than Notre Dame. I think they're as disciplined. I think that defense is nasty. They're going to give them problems. They're going to make them. Like I said, they're going to force Notre Dame. There aren't going to be any lanes for that quarterback to scramble, and they're going to have an answer for that little tight end in the flat. They're going to have an answer for that. I think them linebackers going to be ready to light them up. So I don't know. I think Ohio State. I've been talking because I've been thinking about this game a whole lot. As a football fan. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think I think it's gonna be a good game. I do think Notre Dame, if they can have a defensive strategy like Texas, because like you said, Texas pretty much laid out the blueprint.
Yeah.
How to play them, but my only concern with Notre Dame is as far as scoring. I don't know if they're going to be able to score like Texas. That's what I don't know if they're going to be able to. I mean, I don't. When I say score, I mean I can see Notre Dame kicking kicking field goals. I don't know about them scoring touchdowns. Texas was scoring touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah.
So to stay match for match with Ohio State, and Notre Dame kind of play small ball and kind of want to control the clock and kick field goals and maybe luckily get a touchdown. So I just don't know. That style is going to be enough to beat Ohio State.
Yeah. I agree. They're going to be relying heavily on a field possession kind of a game, ball possession game. But if they make the mistake and let Jeremiah Smith get loose, which Texas did not do. That's why Texas was in the game all the way in the game until the end. But they found the key to contain and put a bottle and put a cap on Jeremiah Smith. I mean, the other receivers were good too. Don't get me wrong; they were good too. You got him, but you got other receivers to worry about with Ohio State, which carried them. But I don't know if Jeremiah Smith is going to be quiet 2 games in a row. I think he's going to have a point to prove. Notre Dame's going to have their hands full with those receivers, man. So yeah. I don't know, but I think we all have Ohio State in this game. Lou, you got Ohio State in this one?
Nope, I got Notre Dame.
You got Notre Dame? Oh, wow. How you think Notre Dame's gonna get past Ohio State?
I did, with the solid defense they've had. I think it can actually handle Ohio State. What we've done so far. So I would pass it.
All right. Well, Lou's got Notre Dame, and Brandon Hover's got Ohio State. I do think it's gonna be. You think it's gonna be a close game, Hover?
Early on, maybe, but
yeah,
I see Ohio State winning this 27-10.
Might be right. You might be right. Yeah. That's kind of my feelings on it, man. 30-10, something like that, man. I don't know. I think it's tight in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be close in the second half. Yeah, I just
we'll see.
I will say this. I think Notre Dame did a great job against Penn State because Penn State's defense was really good. They were really good. They were about as good as Georgia was against those guys, really. Because Georgia didn't lose that game against Notre Dame because of the defense. I think the defense held them to a touchdown in terms of real production and some field goals. And then, once they got loose on the doggone special teams return, they kind of put some distance between them. And Georgia just couldn't score no points.
Right.
But I thought Georgia's defense played them very well. And, and then Penn State came behind Georgia. So, well, you guys not going to get us on special teams like you got Georgia, but, the offense, because they got bad quarterback play. And that's the other key is the quarterback play for Notre Dame. I am not a believer in that. Somewhere along the way, like you said, I think the quarterback's going to get exposed, kind of like Ewers did in Texas. Ewers is just I'm just not a believer in him as a quarterback. He's just not that great. And he got exposed when the game was on the line. I'm not a big fan of Ohio State's quarterback either. But I think he's got enough to outplay my man down in Notre Dame. They may have to change quarterbacks in Notre Dame. I think that's how bad it's gonna be. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'll be watching. Not my 2 favorite schools to watch, but because I'm a football fan, I will be watching. Big Ten fans are gonna love this because no SEC team they gotta play. There's a chance with it. As long as we're not playing the SEC team, we already beat Texas. They're not technically their first year in the SEC, but it's not like it's not like Georgia a couple years back or Alabama or somebody like that. When the SEC was really up.
Yeah.
But I think the SEC is gonna be back next year. I think Georgia's got a room full of. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Georgia's got a room full of wide receivers. I mean, my God, full of 4 or 5-star receivers, man, like no other. So you want to talk about any school that has overcompensated on receivers? University of Georgia just got a load of receivers. We got a strong transfer. What is his name? Branch, and him his brother out of USC. And he was listed the number 1 receiver in the transfer portal. And we got a slew of 5-star wide receivers right here in the state. We got some 4 or 5-star quarterbacks coming in, so there would definitely be a competition for Gunnar Stockton if Kirby will allow it. I'll put it that way. If he will allow the competition, he's definitely gonna have competition at the quarterback for Gunnar. But I think Gunner's a great quarterback, man. Don't get me wrong. I think Gunner's a really good quarterback. I like him because of his tendencies a whole lot better than Carson Beck. Speaking of Beck going to Miami, Hobart.
Yo.
What do you think about Carson Beck going to Miami?
Well, we talked about this off the Bread and Over show, and I think it's a win-win for Miami and for Carson Beck. I look at it. I look at Carson Beck has made a good business decision. I mean, think about it. I mean, if he went ahead and went into the NFL draft, would he get drafted in the first round? Probably not. I don't think he would have got drafted in the first round, Brad. I'm just being honest.
He wouldn't have got drafted in the second round. He wouldn't have got drafted in the second round, in my opinion. Look, man, the guy, he couldn't check any boxes. When the season started, he wanted to check boxes in terms of being a Heisman candidate, which he was not. He wanted to win a national championship, which Georgia did not do. And at the very least, he wanted to win the SEC championship, which they did, but without him, so to speak. I mean, he played some of the game, but, he didn't win it for us. Gunnar Stockton did. He handed the ball off. Okay, I get it. He handed the ball off. But hell, we could have got third string quarterback to do that. But I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be a stinker against Carson Beck. The kid did well. I would have done the same thing, Luke. I would have gone out. Look, Georgia's not. He's a Florida guy. He's born and raised in Florida. He wasn't going to be a high draft pick. So you want to improve your draft stock going to the league by continuing to not play at Georgia, but play somewhere else.
Right.
Because good doggone well how Georgia rolls. If you can't start game one for Georgia, we moving on to the next quarterback. That's Kirby.
Yeah.
Point blank. It's black and white in Georgia. We've done it many times before. So you go down there with Miami. You're in the ACC, Lou. So in the ACC, you think that Carson Beck, he didn't have as much competition as the SEC. So he doesn't have to play Texas. He didn't have to see Ole Miss again. He didn't have to see Alabama. He didn't have to see Tennessee. He didn't have to see 5, 6 all them top 10, top 20 teams. He's going to see second-tier teams. So he's going to see, Louisville and other teams like that. He's going to see some light teams, get some light work, Wake Forest, Virginia, somebody, he's going to get some lightweight teams, man. So that's going to help his numbers, improve his stock, make him look a little bit better than what he is. And he's got some talent in Miami. He'll start out lighting the board up 5-0, 4-0.
Yeah.
And but after that, man, it's gonna be around. You better hope that once they keep it moving, man, that he don't see Georgia along the way, because they're gonna light him up. And the last thing about Georgia, we have to move on, guys. We have to move on to NFL. We have to move on. But Georgia has a lot of players return. I think all the players recognize that it's not returning the what's his name, Rutledge, our offensive lineman. Travis Etienne, I think, said he's going into the NFL draft.
Yes.
Yeah. And so and our defensive linebackers, Williams and Walker. And so, but everybody else is coming back though. So we got a lot of players. We got a lot of players that will probably be eligible. Probably wouldn't get drafted until maybe mid or late rounds, but they coming back. So that's good for Georgia to have experienced players coming back and keep them hungry. That's all. That's my last word on Georgia.
So, I just found someone else who's going to go to the NFL draft, but it shouldn't be a surprise though.
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of guys. Obviously Shedeur, Sanders.
Yeah, I'm talking about one in particular.
Who? Cam Ward?
No, Ewers from Texas.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not surprised.
I don't think he's got a choice. I mean, yeah, he did, or he could go. I mean, if he was eligible, I think he's got a year eligibility left.
Yes.
And he could have gone to the transfer. I would have gone to the transfer portal.
I mean, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
But he didn't have a choice but to leave Lou because of who's coming up. You got Arch Manning coming up, and
Uh-huh.
there's no denying that kid's gonna get the keys to the car next year. So
Correct.
he had to either go to the portal, find him another college team, or just go to the NFL and see what he can get.
right.
Yeah, I
Right.
just really don't. I just really don't think he's going. Yeah, he's not going to get drafted. Get drafted high, guys. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, yeah.
Hope they don't have the camera on. Let's hope for his sake they don't have the camera on him. So look, guys, how did you enjoy the first weekend of NFL playoffs, Lou?
Well, I think my match was all reversed. I thought maybe at the Eagles game, I thought that game was going to be a lot closer. I thought Washington was going to blow Tampa Bay out of the water. It didn't. It came down to the doink for the Commanders to win that. So
Yep.
that one I think was the biggest surprise of all. Uh, I expected the Eagles and Packers to be a lot closer, but Eagles looked too strong. Bills, you know, look like they belong. They belong there, of course. And Houston would start out slow. Well, we'll put it this way, Houston, you don't have a problem. Well, at least not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
but that Packers game I think was a disappointment. Well, by
Mm-hmm.
my standards, disappointment. I expected
Mm-hmm.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people were disappointed with Saquon Barkley not scoring a touchdown that
Yeah,
he did. People who had bets, but you know, I agree with Lou though. I do think that game was a little disappointing.
it was.
We kind of felt like we was going to get a, I don't know, maybe a more competitive game. I guess put it that way. But
Yeah,
um, in the Houston game was a big disappointment with Justin Herbert. I told
oh yeah,
Brad Lou I just didn't think Justin Herbert, because he had been coming on strong. I just didn't see him
yeah.
regressing that bad. He looked terrible, man.
Yeah. Like Kirk Cousins, didn't he?
Oh man. Well, to his credit, he didn't look as bad as Sam Darnold.
Ooh. Boop, boop, doo.
But we talked about that, bro. We talked about. I said the Vikings. I said, the thing about the Vikings, yeah, they look all, this is their year during the season, but right at the end of the season, it all of a sudden there was a blueprint that came out that hey, this is how you this is how you beat the Vikings. This is how you beat Sam Darnold, and it carried over into the play.
Uh-huh.
It carried over into the playoffs. I told you. I said if anybody can have any type of rush and can play man to man coverage, um, yeah, the Vikings gonna lose, and they did.
Who would have thought that?
You know.
Not me. I thought the Vikings were going to just be a shoe in.
Yeah, yeah. It. I agree with you, Lou. I mean, it kind of, they've always been that team to me. It's always seems like, man, the Vikings. They just look like the team that nobody. Hell, if they played Detroit, I was like, I'll take the Vikings. But
Right.
they played against Detroit. They laid an egg. And I don't know what it was. It's something about that game that stood out to me was Sam Donald. I don't know. He seemed to have a hard time with defenses that play man to man coverage. And and also that can get to the quarterback. And the same thing happened again with the Rams. So, but I mean, Lou, if it had been any other team than than the Rams, I think the Vikings would have won.
I don't think the Rams have deserved home field advantage, though. I really don't.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think they.
With a far better record, the Vikings did. Oh no, but because despite the fact of a lousy record, they won the division and they got it. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, man. I think they need to change that rule.
Talk about screwing the pooch.
I agree with you. I think when it comes to postseason, whoever has the best record plays home. I don't.
Yes.
I think they need to change that rule. Yeah, you won your division, but that doesn't necessarily mean you get a home game.
No.
Um,
Especially when your
I
record was far less superior than your opponent.
absolutely, man. I agree. I agree with that. I agree with you 100% on that.
What kind of a
Uh,
turd system is this anyway?
yeah, it's kind of like when Brad comes back on, we'll talk about it. It's kind of like our fantasy league. So Brad, he actually in his division, he had the best record. He had the best record in his division. He should have won his division, but because he didn't win his division games, he didn't win it. And then so the person who actually won who won it, they only won just games in their division and lost everything else.
Right?
So it looks kind of like okay, the person who won the division is 4-10 or whatever, and Brad is I don't know. Uh, I don't agree with it. I personally think it should go based upon whoever has the best record in that division.
Yeah.
That's just my
Realignment, everybody?
opinion.
Will we in line? Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah, we're live.
No,
I think.
readjust the whole thing.
Oh. Let me
No?
see. Nah.
Yeah.
Let me
There's
see. I
enough
think.
realignment in that stuff, so I think I'll leave it alone. But there has to be a better solution.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Let me see. I think Brett. Oh, he just texted me. Uh,
But back into the matrix.
yeah. I think something happened with his headphones. He's trying to figure out.
Okay, that
Trying to
got lost
figure
in
out.
the matrix.
He having some technical difficulties. But but anyway, so moving on to I know we was talking about so the I mean we was talking about the Vikings. So what were your thoughts on the Tampa Bay and the Washington game?
Well, like I said, I really thought that was going to be a much tougher game for Tampa Bay. I mean, they're pretty much even all the way. I didn't think they had much of a chance. And Washington, you know, I thought was better off on offense, but Tampa Bay looked for an answer every time and they got it. And it came down to the final seconds
Yeah,
for Washington to stay alive here. I mean, that was the game that I think was my biggest surprise most of all. I didn't give Tampa Bay much of a chance at all. I think it was going to be a blowout,
yeah,
like an
yeah.
all-time college football game.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was gonna be a blowout too, but you know, Washington, Tampa Bay, to their credit, they hung in there. Washington did what they had to do.
Yeah.
Um, now Washington, let's see who they play. They play Detroit.
Uh-huh. Good
I
luck with
think
that one, bub.
yeah. So I think that's gonna be it.
I'm taking Detroit to win it this year. I'm taking Detroit to win it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like Detroit. They're playing very good, and um, I personally think it's going to be Detroit and Buffalo. That's what I think. I think is going to come
Oh,
back.
good call. Well, I'll put it this way: I got 2 ties to that now as well. Well, Diane is a Bills fan for
Right.
some reason. For what reason, I have no idea. And my partner in crime, who lives in the Detroit area, I know he's going for the Lions, so I can't miss that one. Of course, if Detroit loses, oh boy, am I going to hear it the following day on the show. Okay. So if I make it through the Super Bowl, I'll still be here. But if not, you'll know why.
Right.
Because I might make up my will the night after the Super Bowl if they lose. I just make up my will after that. I
Oh
might have
man.
to.
Yeah, man. But yeah, those are the team. Yep, like I said, yeah, those 2 teams. I think they're gonna be there. I don't know. I don't see Kansas. I think Kansas City is. I just don't see. I don't know.
Someone's never won 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though. That's a hard.
Hey, it's hard to win
I
2 in a
mean,
row.
I'm not saying that it can't happen, but
No, but it's asking an awful lot.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, there have been teams that have won 3 Super Bowls, yes, but they've never done it 3 straight.
Right, right. And so I think Brad is back. Uh, hey, Brad, can you hear me?
Yeah, guys, can you hear me? I'm sorry, I had some technical
Loud and
difficulties.
clear. Loud and clear.
Great,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
So, yeah, you guys made your picks yet?
No, let's go ahead and go with the picks.
Officially,
Go ahead, Hover, run them down.
All right. So let me get it up here. All right. So we got 4 games. Um, you got the Texans against the Chiefs. Uh, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in that game. Who do you like, Lou?
going to Kansas City. Kansas
All
City,
right.
here I
And how
Yeah,
about you, Brett?
yeah. I'm going Chiefs in that one, man. I think that defense from Texas is gonna be tough. But I'm going with the champs, man.
Yeah, man. I think we all can agree on that. Um, so the next one is the Commanders and the Lions, and Lou and I we were just talking about that. Uh, I'm going with the Lions, man. That's my favorite to make it to the Super Bowl. How about you? What you think, Brett?
Yeah, I'm going Lions in that one, man.
And I know Lou and you, Lou.
Mhm.
Lions all the way.
Yep,
Uh,
I ain't lying.
all right. Rams versus Eagles. This is in Philadelphia. The Rams got to travel. Um, you know, I like the Eagles, but I don't know I think the Rams have finally found their groove. I like the Rams in this one. Who you like, Brad?
Yeah, I like something about Philly is weird. Uh, Um, something about Jalen Hurts and it's just a weird team, man. So nothing against Saquon, but I think the Rams. I'm with you, Ho. I think the Rams were just waiting for the postseason. So I'm going Rams in this one, man. I think that Stafford and the Cool is gonna make that nice connection, and once we get Cooper Cup back in the groove, I think we'll be good to go.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
get Williams health to get him going. I like the Rams in this one. It may be an upset to a lot of the pundits, but I like the Rams in this one.
yeah, man. Absolutely, man. How about you, Lou?
No, I still gotta go with the Eagles.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I mean, I can see the Eagles maybe because they do have a home field, but I don't know. I'm like Bread. I just feel like something is going on with the Eagles that
A little off.
I can't put my finger on it. I mean, they got a nice mix. Saquon. I just don't know about Jalen Hurts though. I don't know. Something. I
Yeah,
can't put my finger on it. I agree with you, Brad.
yeah.
Something's there. So I'm going with the Rams on in that one. All right. In the
Same.
last,
Yep.
yeah, I agree with you. Last but not least, Ravens versus Bill. This is going to be the fun game. Action Jackson, Josh Allen.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I know, Lou. I'll go ahead and put you out there, Lou. I already know who it is in this one.
You do?
Yeah, the Bills.
The Bills.
So I'm
Correct.
not even. I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna the Bills for Lou. What about
Correct.
you? What about you, Brad?
I'm going Action Jackson in this one, man. I like uh the Ravens, man. They just find a way to win games, man. They look like they're kicking on all cylinders as long as Action Jackson stays healthy.
Hmm. Hell, I mean, Action Jackson. I mean, I get it. Um, I'm going to go. Uh, man, I'm going to go with the Bills in this one. I like Action Jackson. I like Derrick Henry.
Yep.
He does make a difference.
Henry?
You know what? You know what? Now that I said King Henry, I'm going with Action Jackson and King Henry in this
King Henry.
Yeah.
one.
Oh man, he looks. I mean, when he's healthy, man. Oh my gosh, man. He was just the men amongst boys last week. So,
Yes.
Yeah,
woo, man. Yeah, he's a
yeah,
load.
yeah. He's a low. He's definitely something to deal with. He gives a defense something definitely to think about. You got to deal with that for 4 quarters. Yeah, and those are the picks, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and the Bills look good too. I think they look solid. Very balanced team. This is not the Ravens defense of old. So they're definitely going to give up some points, but you just don't want to give up too many points. You want to keep it close.
Correct.
Yep. And just real quick before we sign off, guys, what do you think about this coaching carousel? I think that Dion, Lou said he didn't want to go with Jerry. Not to say he's not going to the pros, but he's just not going to the Cowboys. So there's been a lot of movement and things of that nature. So who you think the Cowboys going to end up with?
I think Dion would make a great fit. I mean, he knows the Cowboys.
Oh,
And he can bring him back. I think he can bring him back to glory. So I'm gonna go with Dion.
okay. Gonna have a change of heart and go to Dallas. What you think about that whole?
Oh man. Um, I mean, it looks like that's what Jerry wants, and what Jerry wants, Jerry gets. I think Dion. We talked about this, Brad, a little bit. He went to Colorado. He's done some good things there. Personally, I just don't think Dion wants to ride that train for a long period of time. I think he set out to do what he said he was going to do, at least turn that program around and make them kind of relevant, so to speak. But, hey, there's an opportunity for him to make more money and get to the NFL, and he can possibly coach his son. Why not? So, in Dallas and Jerry, of course, got the money to buy him out of his contract. So out of
Yeah.
Colorado. So
But
that's not a problem.
but Dallas doesn't have the pick unless they make a trade. So
Well,
so
well, well. That's the
so
thing. That's the
yeah,
thing, right? So you're absolutely right. Unless they make a trade, and
which is possible.
which which is possible. So, and I can't see why that can't. I mean, we've seen crazy things happen. If you remember, go back to when Eli Manning uh, was drafted. Uh, and I think he went number one to, I want to say the Chargers. I think he went to the Chargers.
Somebody, I can't remember.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not right. But anyway, New York worked out some kind of deal where they gave the Chargers all these different picks and took that number one pick.
Yeah.
And he played for the Giants. So, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and my thing, real quick, guys, is that Dallas is gonna have to come with something, and I think the Raiders have that pick. The Raiders are will pick Shador, and they may want to get Shador and Dion will go to the Raiders. But if you want to go to Dallas is gonna have to say, hey, for instance, put something out there for the Raiders. Hey, we'll take that pick, but we'll give you, let's just say for kicks and giggles, we'll give you Dak Prescott. So now you got a quarterback. And so for that's what it's gonna cost you. Because I don't think that Raiders gonna want anything else. Well, you get Dak Prescott in LA, in Vegas, throwing to Brock Bowers, and plus the other receivers that they're gonna get in the draft. Man, please, Raiders gonna come up real quick. So that's just my 2 cents. There's always a deal around the corner.
Yeah,
Dallas is gonna have to give it up. They won't Dion. They're gonna have to get his son. They're gonna have to get that. So it's my 2 cents on that, guys. Yeah. So let's go on and shut it on down, guys. Lou, take us home, man.
All right. Screw the pooch. The Enhanced Sports Show will be, of course, is back Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number to call is 512-543-4662. RP 512-543-4662. Yeah, we'll review the wild card round of the playoffs, and of course, we'll also look at this week's matchup as well. I'll take predictions for the College Football Championship. I've been putting off the last 2 weeks, but now that we're officially confirmed, I'll take those predictions. More MLB hot stove news, of course. NBA NHL news, and of course WWE and UFC as well, along with their regular features, the ridiculous sign of the week, sports trivia, this week in sports history, and of course your thoughts and comments are always welcome. So remember, it's 512-543-4662 for 46 Saturday. Don't forget, check us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportshow.com, and voila, you'll be there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Lou.
My pleasure. If you have, I know that the game runs in the time on the show, but if you can find the time, even if it's just like a half hour, feel free to call.
We'll do, Lou. We'll be there.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, man.
Good night.
Good night.
And he's gone. So to quote one of my favorite shows from Two Live Students, and he's gone. All right.
Out of here.
Yeah, that's my Two Live Students. I miss those guys. So thanks, guys. We're gonna shut it on down, and we'll see what the coaching carousel has for the league, and also what the coaching carousel has for the Atlanta Falcons in terms of the defensive coordinator. I don't want Albrecht back, but there's some other guys that I'd love to see come to Atlanta to get that defensive coordinator role. Although I think that Atlanta's biggest problem is Jimmy's and Joe's more than X's and O's. So Atlanta has got to go out and draft the right kind of guys and develop the young guys that they have and find some way to loosen up the purse strings so they can go out there and acquire a couple of good quality defensive players in the front seven. That's what it's going to take to steer this team in the right direction.
I agree.
Yep. So with that, next time, see y'all next Wednesday on the Bread and Hope Show. 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We run a little bit over because we're having a good time talking to y'all. So until next time, speak on it.
Speak on it.